Okay, my typical setup. I always film while walking, so here, except for my FTC speech. But here we go. Um, here's my opinion on the season, the first season of Emmy Survivor. So many people were waiting for this video, so many people were excited for this video, and, well, here it is. So we started off the season, and we had like Nate who just left, didn't get a response from me, didn't get a response from Taka. This was before I had demoted him, and so we didn't have enough time to respond because he had left the server. That did not sit well with me. So you can see like the OTT and then on the Edgic, because that kind of thing does not sit well with me. Yes, I don't mind people pulling from the game if they're stressed out or something like that, or if they're busy. But at least let us get a response. And picking random specs in the beginning of the season was a bit too much. Then we had Gazelle, who was a bit crazy. You do not tell somebody that you hope their 6-year-old daughter kills herself. That really was uncalled for. Like, that kind of behavior is uncalled for. With my history of shit like that, I literally, as a past suicide attempt survivor, I that did not sit well with me. I don't think that would sit well with anybody, regardless of if that's happened to them or not. That is just uncalled for. So, removed her from the game, put her on the ban list, and yeah. Fun fact, she's the only one on the ban list officially. Because there may be times when I joke around and put myself on there, or someone jokes around and puts Carl on there, but Gazelle's the only official one on the ban list. Yeah. Speaking of the ban list, it's a monthly gag now because I'm an April Fool's person. So some jokes kind of come naturally, and I have a weird sense of humor. So I literally fake banning myself for 5 days a month is just fucking hilarious. Yeah. This all started when I did say when I announced that I was going to film this video that I was going to say terms and all. This is so fucking difficult. But needless to say, it seems like I didn't prepare enough for my beauty to show up during the season. It seems I did not prepare well enough. Because yours truly broke down in host confessional a lot. Some stuff during the season affected me more, and it's just like all, like, the reacts just made me so freaking emotional and shit, and people can't even watch where they're freaking going. All while I had just merged in another org. Literally, shout out to Indie Org. So, I gotta stop for a second. Oh, wait, I can get there in time. So, all the while, I had just merged in Indie Org, and I was just trying to talk to people, and trust me, when you're not feeling the best, it's pretty hard to be social. I barely managed, but here we go. broke down in host confessional, thought I complained, and just basically I was not prepared. Clearly I wasn't. That's going to be brought up again in another purged video, but not now. Back to my thoughts on the actual season. So Cosmo was idled out. That was like one of the biggest moves in the entire season. And this happened so early on. And basically, Richmond Hill lost the puzzle thing via tiebreaker. And walking is so hard in filming. And Jay did not finish the drop quote. That was why they lost. And Cheesecake, who was the one that was assigned the drop quote on Toronto, had finished. So it seemed like the vote was going to go to Jay because of him being the reason the tribe lost. However, Jordan P's inactivity at the time was going to fuck him over because they had switched the target to him. They're trying to get Garrett involved, and Garrett wasn't really sure wasn't really wanting to do that because I think he could relate to Jordan P a bit. I don't know I forgot exactly what happened, but they were originally going to idle out Jay, but Garrett did consider Cosmo a big threat, so they changed the target and idled him out. Pig literally got mad at Jordan P afterwards, reacted worse about Cosmo's idle out than Cosmo himself. So I'm just like, jeez, man. Jeez, calm down. But yeah. And then there was, and we all know I think greed was the challenge after Cosmo's idle out. Yeah, it was. And Jess was trying to trick the other tribe into taking it by not doing the command the right way. But Slug took it as Jess trying to take it. So he went and took greed, and needless to say, his fellow Toronto tribe mates did not react the best to it. They were mad. Cheesecake was like, well, you have a target on your back, as you said. Because he had said that in Toronto tribe chat that whoever took greed has a target on their back. So that happened. They were gonna, Stacy and Cheesecake were in a minority. They were gonna split the votes between Stacy and Cheesecake, but then Stacy voted Cheesecake out. Stacy voted Cheesecake, which meant Cheesecake left. So there you go. Then there was the swap. It was Jay, Joey, Jordan B, Garrett, Pig, Jane, and Apotheosis on Fourth Lakes, and then there was Stacy, Slug, Jordan P, KD9, Brett, Jess, and Parker on Windsor. Originally, Windsor had won the first swap challenge, but I fucked up and removed Jay over an accusation. I did not give him a chance to explain himself, which I literally took things out of myself. I was like, upset. I felt like I was about to cry in his confessional at 3 o'clock in the morning, and it was just like crazy. But I had to be talked down about it, and it was just like, but then I brought him back, made the decision to redo the challenge, ended up doing tribe spam, and Waterfall Lakes ended up winning that because Windsor had thrown to get Slug out. And Slug ended up being the last pre-juror. Kind of sucked to see Slug in pre-jury, but oh well. It happens. But jury phase started. It was higher or lower. Windsor lost again. And KD9 was voted out. And it was kind of a, now that Slug's voted out, let's vote the Richmond Hills. And so that happened. Windsor lost the 2048 challenge as well, and they were sent there. They were sent to tribal again, where Jordan P was voted out. I think at the Slug trial, Jordan P was given shared immunity by Garrett. And so that's what happened. I think it was either at the Slug or KD9 tribals. Because the shared immunity is when someone on the other tribe, how it works on the pre-merge. If one tribe wins immunity, they can give someone on the losing tribe immunity too. And Garrett had a shared immunity, so she gave Jordan P immunity. I think it was at the Slug tribal or the KD9 tribal. I'm believing it's the Slug tribal. And yeah, it was the Slug tribal because he used his idol on himself at the KD9 tribal. And yeah, so he was the last pre-merger. And then merge hit. First challenge was the auction, which was a big flop. It was a really big flop because the way I wanted it, Taco was changing everything. I did not want it live. I wanted it to be like a 24-hour thing in which multiple people would bid in their submissions. And at the 24-hour mark, I would reveal the challenge. This is how one of my first orgs did the auction, and that's how I wanted to do it. And Taka just changed everything. That was one of the first times I've gotten annoyed with him over something. Other than the time where he was annoying me, and other than the times that sorry, I don't know why I crossed when the light was about to go red. But anyways, that was the first time he annoyed me regarding something game related. Well, first I was at someone's confessional, someone's admissions, because I wanted to do the lottery, and I wanted to do it was either the lottery or the mystery item that they wanted, and I wanted to do it myself. Well, he did it, and I just started, I was just like, what the fuck? I wanted to do it myself. And I was just telling them that they've learned a lot about me already, and just like, and then it was like, I think it was later on the same day. I think it was later on today. I think it was because of the submission thing, where I was like, should I kick Taka? And Apotheosis was reacting with demote, and I was like, demote even better. So I demoted him for almost 24 hours because he was upset about getting demoted, and he was like, can I get my rolls back? Or something like that. And so I went to Tree Mail asking, should I promote Taka back to exec now or when the time's over? And people reacted with the latter. So I was like, well, it looks like Taka's going to get spec for 24 hours. So yeah, that was a pretty fun time, because demoting him was like literally a joke. Demoting the guy was a joke. And so, yeah. But back to the merge. I was upset about the way that he did the auction, because I really wanted it done differently. So yeah, Stacy bought the item that was individual immunity, because I did not want that as a covered item either. I did not want immunity as a covered item, and he fucked that over. Yeah, so yeah. This was the beginning of the Richmond Hill pagonging attempt. So Pig was voted out after Brett used his idol. Then we had the sacrifice challenge, in which Jane had left the game. I thought since she was busy and stuff like that, I was going to keep her on jury. But eventually she didn't even vote. And she took all 13 sacrifices. That's the issue. So that kind of factored into her decision to quit. And the person with the second most sacrifices taken was Garrett. Therefore, he won the first immunity, and the second immunity was touchy subjects. I mean, who wants to take part in touchy subjects anyway? But Parker won that. Yeah, it was Parker that won touchy subjects, and both of them were immune. At this tribal, I think Jay was voted out this tribal. Yeah. Fuck, I'm cramping. I don't know why, but fuck. Anyways, yeah, it was a J vote. And Jess and Stacy had one of those days. I think it was both Jess and Stacy, where they kept using their safety without powers. they had a whole bunch of them, and so they used it for that tribal. And then the next challenge was, I think it was the give one, take one challenge, in which Brett wanted me, and so, and Joey was voted out. I don't know if this was a tribal in which either Jess, Stacy, or both used the stage without power. We'll just see about it. And then obviously the Brett vote. This was final 7, which was, oh yeah, Apotheosis and Joey used their stage without power to J vote. But yeah, at the Brett vote, I'm trying to think who won this community. Okay, I think this was the Google Maps Snake Challenge. And in this case, Jordan won immunity. But, okay, so basically, Brett had an idol. Parker literally convinced him that he would be safe. This was when Stacy and Jess used their stage without power, since it was the last round to use them. And so, basically, Brett got blindsided, and he did not take that well. He was especially mad at Parker for it. And so, he literally did not like the fact that Parker, who was supposed to be his ally, was a major part of his blindside. And so he planned to be a bitter juror in the instance Parker made FTC. So, and final 6. This was the first tie of the season. Quotes. This was quotes from jurors in which Jess won immunity. This was it was a tie between Garrett and Jordan B. My God, I'm about to sit down soon. Why the fuck am I cramping this fucking early? Oh, I thought they were gonna turn this way. Yeah, so it was a tie between Garrett and Jordan, and obviously this was going to a revote. In which Jordan was voted out on the revote. So it was either Jordan, Garrett, or Rox. And Jordan was voted out on the revote. Final 5 is when things became tricky, and when I regretted basically everything I did in regards to handling this. Well, the challenge was entanglement. She had a friend, apparently she had a friend do the challenge, and technically that was considered cheating, and so I originally gave her a strike. Then I removed her, and basically that didn't go well with Stacy herself, and everyone's like, you kind of made the right, there's people who were like, you kind of made the right decision, and some were like, oh, you overreacted, and basically I had gotten talked by Stacy's friend, who was like explaining his their decision. And when I asked about her other challenge scores, they did not get those scores. So it seemed like that she did those herself. So I was inclined to believe that this was a one-time situation and that I brought her back. This did not go well with some people, and this is going to lead into Final Four. I had lost Vince, who was a partner with us, and because of this whole situation and how I handled it, and I took it out on myself. I gave her immunity because I felt like I didn't want her to be targeted right back out, which was another decision that I do think was not the best that I made. So I took it out on myself. I said, I'm gonna transfer my server ownership over to Cosmo while I go take a server break. Because I felt bad about the Vince situation and I didn't know how I was going to go about it. And this was the driving force and leading to Cosmo being co-owner. So I came back eventually during the next one time in the morning. I told them, like, don't give me my rolls back. I don't want them back until this afternoon. And this was also the day the votes were being read for in the Oregon, which I made final tribal council. I was very, very stressed out about that because I had jurors that were like, I can't find a reason to vote for you, or I'm not going to vote for you, or yada, yada, yada. And I was pretty stressed out, and that was the day of the reunion, so I was a bit nervous, and I had it in my head that my ally, who was the person that took me to Final Tribal Council, was going to win unanimously, and if it wasn't for Final Four, she would have had a perfect game, and I definitely would be in approval of that. Like, she deserved a perfect game, so I was like, well, listen, she's gonna win unanimously. I am not expecting any vote. I do not expect anyone in that jury, to give me a pity vote. And so I got my rolls back eventually for Emmy Survivor beforehand. And it was like, so, and the thing was, so Final Tribal Council, the reunion hit, and the first vote was for her. I was like, okay, I get it. Okay, this is gonna be a quick vote reveal. Then when I saw the second vote and it had my name on it, I was just like, what the fuck? I wasn't expecting a vote, and the fact that somebody gave me a vote was just pretty shocking. And I'm gonna shout him out because he's actually in the server. Shout out Cheesecake, the player of this season, and and he was one of the ones that was like, I don't know if I can't find a reason to vote for you or something like that, and I was very honest with the jurors who were like, I don't know if I can vote for you, and I was pretty honest with them. I was like, I understand if you don't vote for me. I did not play a good game, as good as a game as my ally, and so yeah, I was like pretty damn shocked that I got a vote, and and it kind of does hurt when you see that some jurors when I saw that some jurors clearly did not give me a chance, were not really willing to give me a chance, and it just hurt, but that's the name of the game. Some people may be like extremely disappointed of your game, may not like your game, and therefore they don't want to give you a chance to explain it. But yeah, and then that was I think that was the challenge, Final 5 challenge, and things changed. Like, the challenge was supposed to be at 6. However, Taka literally changed the challenge to 5, and that was the driving force behind demoting him to host and training. Because in the end, Jess quit. And I felt bad about that. Like, I took everything out of myself, and not only in the Niagara tribe chat, but in tree mail as well. And tree mail is usually for game talk and stuff. Host confessional would be a better suit, but I literally broke down. I mean, it was not the best thing to see someone quit at the Final 4. But we had to go through with it, and there we go. Then there was the Final 3 FIC, in which the first part was how many the person with the most ES coins moves on to part 1, which that one was Parker. The second part was supposed to be between Stacy and Garrett check-ins. However, Stacy quit and gave it to quit the part 2 and then gave it to Garrett. And so Garrett and Parker literally said a whole bunch of words. It was word things where I gave a letter, a number. They had to say a word that starts with the letter and is how many letters as the number. So that went on for like almost 24 hours, in which Garrett won that. And basically, Stacy and Parker were like waiting, and for like a whole 24 hours. And I'm gonna go refer back to the beginning of the season here. All while trying to make the channels and everything, and sitting at the emergency room with my housemate, my pesky period decided to come. And I was like, really? On the day I have to do stuff for Final Tribal Council? Really? And I'm just going to refer back to a statement that I really made, and I think it's more badass. Orcs don't care about timing, and that's clearly the truth in this case. So, yeah, I was not the best. Post confessional ended up being full of breakdowns again. I was in pain, and I was already in another org playing. Basically, it was like an endurance challenge, and involving like passing fictional bills, and I was in a lot of pain from cramps, and I was like, well, I can't sleep. Let me just try to do as much of this challenge as I can. I mean, let's just try and get my tribe to win, because I have nothing better to do. So yeah, that's what I did. Our tribe did win the challenge, and because of the amount of successful bills I passed while in pain from cramps, I ended up tribe president. And with this tribe president twist, you get 5 extra safari searches, in which the safari was literally dead at the time, and a heckler advantage in which you choose someone and that person loses their vote at the next tribal. That's the reason I don't like the twist, because it just sucks taking someone's vote away. Yeah, it just really sucked to take someone's vote away. But yeah, well, FTC was going on, and the questioning commenced with Stacey and Garrett. I was in pain, I was emotional, I was drained, and I'm just like, and then like, I wanted this. This was supposed to be a different setup. The FTC was supposed to be a different setup. It was supposed to have a general questioning, Garrett's questioning. No, wait, it's called. Basically, Garrett and Stacey would have an answer channel, and then every juror was going to have their own questioning channel. This was the way I originally wanted it. But because I like to overwork myself, my period was like, no. I just had to settle for the simple option, which was a specific question channel for Garrett, a specific question channel for Stacey, and then question channel for questions that pertain to both finalists, and then both finalists would have their answering channel. So, yeah. Apotheosis did go all out on Stacey. I was just like, that is crazy. Because a lot of the jurors did not like the fact that the whole situation at Final Five, and then people did not agree that sending Apotheosis home via rocks, and making the FTC a final two was actually a good enough move. So, obviously there was one vote for Stacey. So FTC was out. Questioning was done. Reunion was the third. The reunion was yesterday, in which Garrett won on an 8-1 vote. Defo, congrats to Garrett. I mean, he went from the original inactive person to idling Cosmo out to being stuck with a whole bunch of damn sacrifices to winning the entire season. So yeah, props to him. And Stacey, definitely props to her for being runner-up, because even though she did not win, making FTC is a good thing. You gotta be proud of making FTC. That's like as far as you can go. And obviously there was awards. Each of the season 1 hosts got an award to give to people. Brett got 3 host awards. So yeah, Brett got Johnny, Taka, and Maya's awards. Stacey got B's award. Garrett got Logan's award, and Apotheosis got my award. Apotheosis won Hero of the Season, and Fan Favorite, and Best Confessionalist. And Parker won Villain of the Season. Duo of the Season was Brett and Parker. And the Alliance of the Season was Maple Syrup, and Most Fraud Preacher was Cosmo. I mean, he literally got idled out at the first tribal, so. And obviously revealed Garrett, revealed the twist for season 2, which is an Exile Island. I literally got to learn to pronounce that name, but I will get to that. And finally, gotta shout out the production team. Like, this org would not be possible without the work of the production team. Maya, I love you a lot, and I'm so glad that you agreed to, like, do this. Like, I'm definitely gonna, like, show you the ropes more, but, like I said, I'm defo proud, and I love you a lot. You're the best girlfriend ever. Taco, we may have had our issues, but you still worked hard. B, I know you may have been busy, but at least you're focused on season, so I'm glad. Logan, the boot list. The boot list is slaying, and boot list wouldn't be possible without you, and you're great, and so yeah. And Johnny, our graphic designer, why this season would not have banging graphics without you. Like, come on now. The season's graphics are so fucking banging. They're iconic. They're great, and it wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for you. And another thing I wanted to say is, I really thank all the production team for putting up with my nonsense and putting up with my moods, for putting up with every little crazy thing that happens to me, and it's just like, we're all a like little supportive bunch, and we're definitely welcoming Cosmo and Amber in with open arms. Like, we're great. This is a great the great production team, and because Amber's gonna do the edging, and Cosmo, I've already said, is co-owner. So yeah, this is gonna be an interesting thing. Like, season 2, 20 people, Malta, Exile Island, four tribes of 5. I'm like, this is gonna be great. But off to a different to a new season. Season 1 had bumps. In conclusion, season 1 had a lot of bumps, but it was a great cast overall. And Garrett is a really deserving winner. And everyone who stuck around literally did well. In the top 5 vote getters, minus Jess because she had left the server, the people in the top 4 placings are like high contention for a fans versus favorite season. So I may have to demote Cosmo at one point. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But anyways, thank you guys for like spectating, and I'm glad we are over 100 human members. Like, this is like so great. But bye.